What's going on, guys? Welcome to the next movie review. Today, we're talking about Godzilla, King of the Monsters, which is in theaters right now. Now, just to give you a little idea of how much of a Godzilla fan I was when I was young, here's just a little glimpse of my collection of the older movies. When I was young, you could pretty much show me any Godzilla movie, and I would be like, 10 out of 10, that monster was cool, that one was too. So if you asked me to evaluate this movie back then, that's probably what I would say. But I can't let my inner fanboy take over, and I'm not gonna lie, this movie was a huge disappointment to me. Especially given the successes of the other two MonsterVerse films, which I will review at some point in the coming weeks. Now first, I do want to talk about some of the things that worked for me in this movie, because in theory, this should be a Godzilla fanboy's dream come true. And I will say, the monster battles, for the most part, they were very entertaining, very fun. Even the third act is probably the best battle that we've seen out of the, I don't know, the final battle in the Godzilla 2014 was pretty good too, but this one could definitely rival that. There was a surprising lack of Godzilla at certain points in the movie though, which is a complaint I had about the 2014 one too. I'll say right off the bat that my favorite monster in this movie might have actually been Rodan. There's a scene shown in the trailer where he does a sort of barrel roll and destroys some planes, and I'll say that was very satisfying and sort of reminiscent of the older movies. Bear McCreary's score is another definite highlight for me. He's done some amazing work on The Walking Dead among many other projects in the past, and this one was no exception. Mothra's theme was a definite highlight. Unfortunately, some of the other monster scenes were a mixed bag for me, because there's a scene where Mothra comes out of the cocoon, which is cool and everything, and there's a scene where Ghidorah kind of first appears and attacks some of the humans, but those scenes weren't as interesting for me. The direction felt a little bit off, and the characters were so unrealistic and they were just constantly doing stupid things that I wanted the monsters to kill them. We're pretty much getting into the negatives now, because let's talk about the characters. I found some of them in this movie to be insufferable. They do attempt to humanize some of the main characters at certain points in the movie, but for me their arcs didn't feel like they belong in a Godzilla movie, and the acting wasn't bad by any means, but they just did not work at all. These are definitely cardboard cutout characters compared to even the other two MonsterVerse films. Kyle Chandler's character was okay, I guess, because he's a little bit relatable, and he probably does the least amount of stupid things in the film compared to everybody else. Also, Charles Dance is in this movie, and it's hard to not love him because it's Charles Dance, but his character's only given like 5 lines in the whole movie, which was a huge disappointment, such a waste of talent. It's not just the little things either. These characters constantly come up with plans to kill the monsters and to get Godzilla to fight the other monsters, and some of them are just so stupid and almost get them killed time after time, and it just gets so ridiculous. So beyond the really cool monster scenes, this movie is 2 hours and 12 minutes long, and I think they could have easily shaved off 20 minutes if they got rid of some of these dull, uninteresting characters and removed some of the unnecessary arcs. There's also a few deaths throughout the film, and they kind of try to make it seem emotional and like you should feel bad for these people, but once again, it's just they're constantly doing stupid things and coming up with the worst possible plans. So it's hard to really feel bad for anybody when they bite the dust, even if it is kind of a sacrifice moment. The last thing I want to talk about is the direction, because as I said before, some of the monster scenes, the direction was good, and it worked. There were other times, though, where it almost felt disorienting, and I don't know, the director of this film, his only other credit that I am aware of is Krampus. I know there's a few others that I haven't seen, but overall, it was really a mixed bag for me. Guys, don't get me wrong, I had a blast with the monster scenes in this movie. It's just they were too few and far between in a movie that was supposed to be a lot of action-packed battles between all the different monsters in the movie. I'm gonna give Godzilla, King of the Monsters, a 5.5 out of 10. Look, I know we don't watch these movies for the human characters, but they could have done far better than what they actually did. Kong, Skull Island, and Godzilla 2014 both understood this, and they at least had somewhat serviceable characters. Regardless, there will always be a part of me that has a soft spot for Godzilla, so I definitely enjoyed the film at times, and I'm excited to see what they do with Godzilla vs. Kong, which comes out next year. Now I want to know what you guys think of this movie. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and I will see you guys in the next movie review. Thanks for watching.